let's look at this question of resilience.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me a kind of definition? What is resilience in work terms, and how does that relate to the values?
Yeah, well, there's some great TED Talks and there's some great information out there, resilience, and we can talk of resilience in different contexts. But when I'm coming at resilience from our analysis perspective, I'm looking at some key areas. I'm looking at self-regard care, self-criticism, self-esteem, coping mechanisms, energy levels. Energy levels being a significant factor in somebody who lacks resilience might have an impact. So there's a lot of cause and effect on resilience. And where this has come from again, is it nature nurture? Well, for me, there's more of a nurture argument than a nature argument, And if we look, there's other studies being done on, let's say, entrepreneurs or people who are very resilient later on have had perhaps hard upbringings or trauma as a child. I know there's a lot of stuff on the background which we won't go into, but there is a scope for it. So you've got to say, what you've got to say is, for me, the most important thing on resilience is, yes, we can measure resilience, and on the judgment index and the material we've done, we've shown a definite regression of resilience as you come down to the early rising stars going through the PMs. But can you teach it? Can you teach and develop resilience? Well, yes, it can be learned. My tease at the minute is, did the chief execs and delivery directors who look more resilient, have they always had it? Or has it been learned on pathway?
Yes.
Well, we're not sure.
Yeah.
That'd be some more work to look at. Really.
Yeah, is it the more resilient ones who survive to become
Yes.
chief execs?
But if you can teach it, why not teach it up front very early on?
Yes.
Because my belief is we do not do a lot of that. And you'll hear, there'll be lots of stuff go out about millennials and snowflakes or whatever the media get hold of and say we're going to trash the young of today coming through. But I know for a fact that the pressures are probably far more greater now, far greater. So you've got to say, they're greater. Are they weaker, or have they just got more pressures to deal with? Yeah. But I think there's some interesting material out there and some interesting debates talking about fear of failure. And do we train youngsters to fail? And therefore, is it such a bad thing? And nobody can fail. And I think there's a big chunk of work around that. But we've certainly got a cohort around the rising stars who show a weakening of resilience. Now, whether that's been imposed on them because they've been overloaded or they lack coping mechanisms, I'm not sure. Probably a combination of both.